for what I discussed now. The next one is to create a web app. That's this one. So this is a simple thing. I'll show you how do you create a web app, whichever you prefer to, where the web app will get an application of Docker container getting deployed in it, which will access directly. Again, a short and crisp demo. To create a web app, I'll go to 3 lines in top left corner, create a resource. So you see web app is here. Third one in the popular menu. I'll go for this. Now subscription is Visual Studio Enterprise 1 for you Azure Pass or anything. Resource group. See, as I said, you can now click the drop down and pick an existing resource group, which means in this existing VM-rg folder, your web app gets created. Or you can choose create new and name it. Let's say I'll name it web-app-rg, or let's say _rg, which means web app resource group. I'm naming it, saying that this will maintain my web app service inside. I'll click OK. See? Now name on details about it. Let's say name of the web app. What if I name it like this? Let's say Kishore web app. It will work. Many simple, the main thing is that your web app will have a DNS as .azurewebsites.net. So if you give anything, it should be unique in the entire Azure. Let's say test, I'll give test.azurewebsites.net. This name is already taken by someone, so its name is not available. So this should be unique. So I gave like this. You must try some name that is unique. In case it says name is not available, you try giving a name that is showing a green tick like this, indicating that this DNS is available in Azure. Now let's say publish, which is indicating that how do you publish your application. I'll go with Docker container, indicating that I will be creating a container application and publishing. OS, let it be Linux, because the container of Linux environment or Windows environment, whichever you prefer, you can host. So I'll say Linux for this example. Now here region, this indicates that in which country your website will get created. Let's say let it be the default one, we can go for now. So other things you can leave it. These are regarding to pricing and performance. We'll go to next menu, the Docker menu. See, here I'll say option as single container, which means a single container gets hosted in the web app. And I don't have any container application that is developed and ready at the point of time. So let's say image source as quick start, and then sample, you have Nginx, which means on running it, this will deploy the Nginx application for us. Let it be the Nginx web server gets enabled. That's the feature. So if I go to monitoring, there will be an option for monitoring my web app, which we don't want now, which means whatever we need, only those we look into. Directly, we'll now create a web app. But once it gets deployed, you can see by clicking review plus create, you can create it. Once it is deployed, you can get a web app, a fully functional web app. Like a RDP, which you made now, you will not have to. We'll have a fully functional web server that is managed by Microsoft. I'll click create button. So it'll be a fully functional web server to which you can just host any application as a container. In this case, we are going with the sample container application deployed for us. So on completion of it, I'll show you. We can make an access to the container by using the DNS of the web application. Again, we will wait. So once the deployment is successful, in the bell icon as well as here, you can see the status. Let's I'm on mute, Atul. I'm just waiting for the deployment to get done. Here we go. The deployment is complete now. Same like earlier, if you click go to resource here or here, it takes you into the web app. Or the other way, if you go to 3 lines in top left corner, you see you have resource groups menu. Now you can find all the resource groups in which you can see web app RG which you created. In case you get into it, you have your web app RG. Excuse me. You have your app service in here, which is your web app. If you get into this, this is how a web app looks like. Now see, there is a browse button. In case you click this one, it's the URL of it, kishorewebapp.azurewebsites.net, and the default website of Microsoft it is. This one it shows to me. But after some time, the container it's configuring in the background. After some time, I'll get it, which means after some time, rather than getting this default website, we will get a container application. So it will take some time because the web app is created now. In the background, it will be pushing the container and all these, which it will be doing. So it will go on for a while. These are some of the logs which you can see. Anyway, for now, you don't need to worry on that. It's getting done. It usually takes some time because it's a container one. But you can see it's just pulling the following image from the path. Ravi, it's a web app of containerized environment for Linux. So during creation, we pulled the Nginx image into it. So once the Nginx image is deployed into it properly, we will be getting the Nginx web server as a response. It will take some time. So Ravi, we are not deploying on Nginx in this scenario. We are having a web app that gives you a container orchestration. Let's say a place where a container can run. So a Linux based web app is giving you such an environment where we pulled a Nginx as base image which is running inside the Linux web app. So it's not an Nginx web server in this case. It's a Linux based web app in which an Nginx container image is up and running for us. Yes, you have. I mean, if you speak about image, that's something you can find various images. Or typically, if you don't speak about image, any other services for running container, you have Docker containers which can be hosted in container instances. You have Kubernetes, Service Fabric, plenty of them you have. So all those are offerings from Azure. Anyway, this one I think I try to pull from image from here, which is not working. Now, web app is not like Kubernetes. It's completely different. Web app is something which is a PaaS service. Kubernetes is more way advanced in this. But if you don't want to maintain a Kubernetes cluster but want to run a container, you can go for web app with container. Yes, Mohammed, they work same. A container orchestration, the concept of containers is same everywhere. Working would be same. Lillian, Docker is installed for you in the web app. This is a platform as a service. Try to remember the slides I discussed. Azure is giving you the complete Docker environment. Hence, you don't have to manage the platform. They are directly giving you the service installed with Docker for you. Come on, why it's still showing me the same? Let me just do one thing. Since it's taking time to pull the image, I'll just go with Docker Hub as an option. A public image like Nginx I'll mention here. There is just a small change of setting I made. When you do the demo, you see the same. Don't worry. The instructions are in it. Since it didn't work for me, I just made a small change to get the job done. Okay, now it's done, I believe. Let's try refresh to the link. Yeah. Welcome to Nginx. If you see this page, Nginx web server is successfully installed. So note that this is not Nginx that you installed into the web app. It's an Nginx container image that you have in here, where you don't have to now focus on installing Docker and all. You only focus on website development in a containerized format and host it, which is a benefit of web apps. So that's what the output you see here in the following DNS. Do you understand it now, the concept of web apps, everyone? Any questions until this? Am I clear? Please confirm the same. Thank you. Well, I will walk you through the third one, the next demo on container instance creation. How do you create a container instance and host an application into it is what I'm going to show next. It's again